जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारे। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारे। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरवनचारी। यमुना तीरवनचारी। यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरवंशहरे ओ हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे राम ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Are you getting tired? ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे You want me to stop? You want me to stop? You want me to stop? हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे राम ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओ निताय गौरांगा ओ निताय गौरांगा ओ निताय गौरांगा गौर हरि निताय गौरांगा गौर हरि Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Oh, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Patita Pavana, Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Bandhu, friend. Atma, the mind. Atmanaha, of the living entity. Tasya, of him. Yena, by whom. Atma, the mind. Eva, certainly. Atmana, by the living entity. Jitaha, conquered. Anatmanaha, of one who has failed to control the mind. Tu, but. Shatrutve, because of enmity. Varteta, remains. Atma eva, the very mind. Shatruvat, as an enemy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. For him who has conquered the mind, the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Purport. The purpose of practicing eightfold yoga is to control the mind in order to make it a friend in discharging the human mission. Unless the mind is controlled, the practice of yoga for show is simply a waste of time. One who cannot control his mind lives always with the greatest enemy, and thus his life and its mission are spoiled. The constitutional position of the living entity is to carry out the order of the superior. As long as one's mind remains an unconquered enemy, one has to serve the dictations of lust, anger, avarice, illusion, etc. But when the mind is conquered, one voluntarily agrees to abide by the dictation of the personality of Godhead, who is situated within the heart of everyone as Paramatma. Real yoga practice entails meeting the Paramatma within the heart and then following his dictation. For one who takes to Krishna consciousness directly, perfect surrender to the dictation of the Lord follows automatically. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswatadeva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So it's my honor and supreme fortune to be here, the new temple of Sri Sri Gaur-Nitai. Before I begin, I bow down repeatedly at the lotus feet of Pyari Mohan Prabhu and Mother Jiva for kindly having me here. By their kind guidance, I could live in the Boston temple for a year or two and could learn a lot under the guidance of Pyari Mohan Prabhu. Encouragement, direction, and some chastisement also. So overall, it's always good to progress. So now I'm here to serve all of you in this beautiful, big temple, the house of Gaur-Nitai, the new temple here. Now, oftentimes, when you talk to people, you ask them, why do you go to a mall? Everyone who enters the mall has the same answer. They know exactly why they're going to a mall. $500 comes here for the service of Gaur-Nitai. So when people enter a mall, Jai Shishi Gaunitai ki, when you ask them, why are you going to a mall? Everybody has the same answer. When people enter a doctor's clinic or a hospital, you ask them why they're going there, and everybody has the same answer. You ask anyone who's entering a stadium to watch a game, every person in that stadium has the same answer as to why they're entering the stadium. Anyone who enters the school as a student, you ask them why they're entering, and they'll all tell you the same answer: we want to graduate. Everyone who's working a full-time job, we ask them, why are you working? They all give you the same answer: to make money. But when you catch 10 people who all go to the temple, and you ask them, why do you go to the temple? You get 10 different answers. Everyone who goes to the mall exactly knows why they go to a mall. Everyone who goes to a doctor's clinic or a hospital exactly know why they go there. Everyone who goes to a stadium exactly know why they go there. Everyone who goes to a car clinic, a mechanic, somebody who takes care of the tire and the oiling of the car, exactly know why they're going there. But 10, 20, 30 people, you just catch them randomly and you ask them, why do you go to a temple? And you get 30 different answers. Most of them don't even know what is the purpose of a temple. As a result of which, oftentimes we lose the value of the existence of a temple. For example, if you have some instrument by which you gym, yeah? You have your different equipments to gym. You use all of these different machines and equipments, and you get the right result. You get the biceps and the triceps and the abs and the chest and etc. I mean, I have no idea of this. You can see that. Yeah? So, pardon me. It's Greek and Latin for me. But all of those who use all of these equipments, when they start using it in the right spirit, you get muscles and you have faith in the equipment. Now, for example, you don't use the dumbbells and you just go like this. What happens? No effect. And after a point, waste of time. You lose faith because you feel it's of no use, because you don't see a substantial gain here. Similarly, people don't even know what is the purpose of a temple. So there is no spirit in why they go to a temple. As a result of which, after going to a temple for 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, without knowing why they're going to a temple, oftentimes they lose faith. And they feel, oh, this is all a waste of time. There is no need of having a temple. But today in this discussion, we'll talk about what is the need of a temple. Yeah? Because this is important. Oftentimes as devotees, we are challenged. Why don't you open hospitals? Opening up hospitals is way better than opening up temples. Many of them opine. But in this discussion, we'll see what is the importance of a temple. Yeah? Does that sound as a good plan? Okay. For that, we have to go back to the historic epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, you have the character of Duryodhan. Duryodhan. Duryodhan is a person who is very difficult to fight with. Yet at the same time, someone who fights with evil intentions. Duryodhan. Now Duryodhan had all the money possible. He had so much money that multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, perhaps even trillionaires would sit at his feet. Big, big palaces made of gold. He had servants. He had queens. How about food? Oh, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Bring me from darkness to light. You start speaking about Krishna and we become in light. Yeah? Duryodhan had so much wealth. He had such opulent food, silk clothing, position, honor, respect, so many servants. Just with a snap of his fingers, things would happen. Most of us, if we had a chance to swap our lives with Duryodhan, we would be very happy. Because all that we are aspiring for, Duryodhan had it in its ultimate zenith, ultimate paramount. Yeah? We want money, we want good food, good shelter, good clothing, good health, and luxury. Duryodhan had it all. But there was one problem. He was very envious. He was so envious that he tried to kill the Pandavas, tried to burn them down, tried to attack with deadly weapons, disrobe their wife, administer poison, kick them out of their house, exile, and made them almost like begging dogs in the forest. He was so envious, he couldn't see anyone equal or greater to him. So much so that it is described in the Mahabharata. During summertime, when the rays of the sun used to intensely shine on the top of his head, scorching sunlight, his assistant would come and place an umbrella over his head. And Duryodhana would reprimand him. He would say, "No one can be better than me, no one can have a higher position than me, not even the umbrella." Nothing. So this was Duryodhana. He was miserable. He had it all. But there was one thing that he lacked. We'll talk about it later. That's the first piece of your puzzle. Now we move to Ramayana. Ramayana had a character called Ravan. We've all heard of him? Ravana. Now Ravana didn't have one head with one brain. He had 10 heads with no brains. 10 heads. And the word Ravana means he who made others cry, made others weep. Ravana had it all. Everybody's looking at the screen. I thought Ravana appeared. And he got offended with the fact that 10 heads and no brains. Oh, I'm happy. Because everybody started looking up there. So Ravana had it all. Wealth, health, life, wife, everything. Palace, lot of money, men, good clothing, food. He would eat with all his 10 mouths at the same time. He had everything. But there's one thing he lacked. He was very critical. Just like Duryodhana was envious, Ravana was envious. He would criticize everyone. In fact, there's a list of curses that Ravana had. He had more than 81 curses from different people, including Manigriva and Nalakuvera, the sons of Kuber. By the way, Kuber and Ravana were best of friends. And Kubera's children, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, cursed Ravana. But the best curse, quote unquote, best curse, was from Ashtavakra Muni. Ashtavakra Muni had a curved, crooked body in 8 parts of his body. Ashta means 8 and Vakra means bent or crooked. When Ashtavakra Muni was bent in 8 parts of his body and he walked, Ravana looked at him and said, "Hey, handsome, where are you going?" So Ashtavakra Muni looked back and Ravana kicked Ashtavakra Muni and said, "Oh, if I kick you, you'll be more handsome." Ashtavakra Muni got so furious that he cursed Ravana. He said, "Just as you kicked me, monkeys will kick you from head to toe." Monkeys will kick you from head to toe, or Ravana, and head means 10 heads, by the way. So when Sri Ram sent Angad to Ravana, so Angad went there, and he didn't just kick Ravana from head to toe. He sat on his head and passed urine also. So Ravana said, "Hey, what did you do?" Sri Ram said, "What did you do? You kicked him and you sat on his head and passed urine?" Angad said, "I'm a monkey, I can do anything." Nobody would mind. So this was Ravana. You have Duryodhana on one side, who had everything. All the things that we aspire for. 25 years of education to get a job, Get a job to get good money to have a family and maintain it, and then house and atha griha kshetra suta apta vittai janasya mohoya mahammameti. Everything. Ravana and Duryodhan had it all. But both of them had one thing in common, because of which they were miserable: an uncontrolled mind. 6:6 Bhagavad Gita. They had everything to keep their body happy. Everything that we are aspiring for, they had it in the best possible luxurious manner. But they were both counted as demons. Why? Because they failed to conquer one thing: the mind. On the flip side, back to Mahabharata, you have this personality by the name Yudhishthir Maharaj. Look at his life. Supposed to be the king, he's kicked out of being the king, ousted of the kingdom, into the forest for 12 years, where he's just wearing a kopin and bare-chested walking around like a mendicant, begging for food, and wild animals, snakes around. And the 13th year has to live incognito. For a Kshatriya, not be able to rule is offensive, and it's like abuse. But Yudhishthir Maharaj faced it all: disrobing of his wife in public, losing his kingdom, not being the king, house set on fire, Bhima administered poison, 5 sons brutally murdered at night by Ashwatthama. Everything. But how was Yudhishthir Maharaj? He's counted as one of the most virtuous people. He didn't have anything. But on the contrast, Duryodhan had it all. But still, Duryodhan is a wicked man, and Yudhishthir Maharaj is a virtuous, pure devotee. Why? Because he had his mind under control. He controlled his mind. Therefore, he's called Yudhi Sthira. Yudhishthira can be broken up as Yudhi plus Sthira. The word Sthira means steady, and Yudhi means on the battlefield. So on the battlefield of life, where there was constant up and down, noise, provocation, irritation, agitation, constant suffering, that personality who kept his consciousness steady is Yudhishthira, because his mind was under his control. Again, in the Ramayana, you have this personality by the name Dasharath Maharaj. The word Dasharath means, what does the word Dasharath mean? He can ride 10 chariots, okay. Yes. That is because his chariot could move in 10 directions. Dasha means 10 and Rath means chariot. So one meaning he could drive 10 different types of chariot. Second, he could drive the same chariot and win in all 10 directions. But this is the external meaning. The internal meaning, Ratha also means our senses. Dasha means 10. We have 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 acting working senses. 5 plus 5, 11, right? 10. Okay, everybody's awake. Some are saying, yes. Whatever you say, Prabhu. If you say it's 60,000, still it is right. So 5 plus 5, 10. So 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, put together, 10 senses. He who had controlled all of these 10 senses was Dasharath, which means a controlled mind. And where did he live? The city of Ayodhya. The word Yuddha means fight. And Ayodhya means where there is no fight, which means a peaceful place. How did he live in a peaceful environment? Because Dasharath, he had all his 10 senses under control. He had his mind under his control, 10 senses under his control, and he lived in the city of Ayodhya, which means a peaceful place. As a result of which, who appeared to him? Bhagavan. So the Supreme Lord appears to a person who has become peaceful because of controlling the 10 senses, which means the mind. So fundamentally, you find that in Ramayana, you have a contrast between Dasharath. Again, quick question, what does Dasharath mean? For all those who are attentive. One who has controlled all the 10 senses. So Dasharath on one side. And in Lanka, you have a person by the name Dasha Anana, Ravan. Dashanan. Anana means face. Is it, there's an echo? So, just to quickly refresh what we were talking about. We spoke about Dasharath. I think Dasharath has something to do with the microphone. So we spoke about Dasharath on one side, who had controlled all his 10 senses, because of which he lived in the city called Ayodhya. Controlled his mind, lives in a peaceful environment, and gives birth to Sri Ram. Sri Ram appears to him. But on the other hand, you have Dashanana. Ravana is called Dashanana, one with the 10 faces. What does that mean? All of his 10 faces represent the 10 senses all looking outward for pleasure. Which means he is the embodiment of a person who hasn't controlled his 10 senses. As a result of which, he had everything, but still was miserable. Duryodhan had everything, was miserable. Ravana had everything, was miserable. Kamsa had everything, was miserable. Hiranyakashipu had everything, was miserable. On the contrast, Yudhishthir Maharaj had nothing, was peaceful. Dasharath Maharaj controlled his senses, was peaceful. What does this mean? It means that we are aspiring for these different material, luxurious objects. But that doesn't classify whether or not we come close to Yudhishthir or Duryodhan. How many of us think we come closer, our character comes closer to Yudhishthir? Wow. How many of us think, honestly, we come more close to Duryodhan? And the others have like this. It's like, Yudor, Duryodhan, so Yuryodhan, Dudhishthir. So fundamentally, this means that we can have everything externally, but what actually matters at the end of the day is whether or not we've controlled our mind. People who say that it's better to have hospitals than building temples fail to understand this fact, that when you go to a hospital, what happens? You're treated of your bodily ailments. You're cured completely. But what about the mind? It's still uncontrolled. It's still contaminated. When a mind is completely contaminated and uncontrolled, it can create havoc. When we read the newspaper, we see these terrorist attacks. People with crazy minds get into schools and open fire. In Mumbai, when the international airport was inaugurated, there was one employee who shot down his boss for no reason. And when he was asked, he said he didn't approve my leave, my holiday. He didn't approve. So why did you shoot him down? He said, my father taught me that the boss will always exploit the employee. So my mind just lost control and I shot him down. Later on, he was repentant, but what? Gone. In Nepal, many years ago, the famous story of the whole royal family brutally killed by one of their members. Why? Because a marriage proposal was not approved. Everyone, 8 or 9 members of the family were killed by the family member. Uncontrolled mind. So much so that in Boston, once I was walking down one of the lanes, and I saw a board which said, dog psychiatrist. A dog psychiatrist. So I asked my friend, what do you mean by a dog psychiatrist? He said, there, the doctor treats mad dogs. I said, mad dogs? Then he said, the dogs are actually sane when they're purchased. They become crazy being with the master. Because the person taking care of the dog is crazy. The dog becomes crazy. Uncontrolled mind. We are always dissatisfied. Always dissatisfied. Always comparing. Oh, he has more than me. She has more than me. He has more money. She has more money. Uncontrolled mind. So therefore, the Bhagavad Gita, teaches us the supreme solution to solve this problem. If we are healthy by the body, but we carry unhealthy mind, wherever we go, we're going to be miserable because we're carrying the same contamination within. Bhagavad Gita may or may not teach us how to solve the problems of the body, but the Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to cleanse that mind. So hospitals may cleanse the body, but what do you call a temple in Hindi? Mandir. Why? Because the word man means mind. It is the hospital to clean the mind. Once the body is cleansed, but the mind is contaminated, wherever we go, there's going to be a problem. But once you come to the temple and cleanse the mind, even if we are in a provocative situation, we're going to be peaceful, like Yudhishthir Maharaj. When there's heavy rainfall, can we stop the rainfall? Profuse rain shower. Can we stop the rain shower? We cannot. Can we protect ourselves from getting wet? Yes. How do we do that? You pull up an umbrella. Exactly. So Bhagavad Gita doesn't teach us to escape or solve the problems of this world. It teaches us how to transcend it. We cannot stop the rainfall of birth, old age, disease, and death. It will come. But by opening up the umbrella of the Bhagavad Gita, you make sure that it doesn't touch you. The problems of life will come. Like for Yudhishthir Maharaj, like for Prahlad Maharaj, like for Draupadi, for Kunti, for Dhruva. All great pure devotees had problems. But were they affected by it? No. Bhagavad Gita is the umbrella. It's the snow jacket which helps one from being protected. Maline mochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrit gitamrita snanam samsara malanashanam. Just like we use soap water to take a bath and cleanse the body, by reading the Bhagavad Gita, this Bhagavad Gita, the messages of the Bhagavad Gita, maline mochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine. It is described, the messages of the Bhagavad Gita cleanse the mind. The mind is no longer hankering for the future and lamenting about the past and fearful about the present, but the mind becomes peaceful and satisfied in whatever arrangement Krishna makes. By controlling the mind wherever we are, whether we are in a 2 BHK, an apartment, a mansion, or on the street, the person is peaceful. Because the mind is controlled. But if the mind is not controlled, even if one is living in a big, big mansion, like Duryodhan or Ravana, he's going to be miserable. So people who say, oh, the temple is useless, they don't understand. The temple is a place where the contamination of the mind can be treated. Mandira. Mana means mind. And once the heart or the mind is cleansed, one becomes peaceful. This is the secret. So Bhagavad Gita solves all the problems in life. All the problems. Now, How does the temple cleanse the mind? We understand the temple cleanses the mind. How does the activities in the temple cleanse the mind? Through 3 practices. 1, we discussed through reading of the Shastra. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is like the compass, the direction in life. Everybody please close your eyes. For those who are already sleeping, be as you are. but others can close your eyes. No cheating, okay? Now, being where you are, without opening your eyes, please kindly point to the north direction. Don't open your eyes, just point. Put your hands out and point to the north direction. Everyone play this game, please. Don't open your eyes. Close your eyes and point to the north direction. Everyone, please. Last 3 seconds to go. Keep your eyes closed and keep pointing to the north direction. 3, 2, 1. Keep your hand as it is and now open your eyes and see around. See around. Open your eyes and see around. Some here, some at the back, and some set to the side, and now looking around, they're also pointing straight. No cheating. See, some going this way. Okay, now you can put your hands down. Now my question is, there's only one north direction, right? Now, if this is the northern direction, and you say that's north, would north change because you pointed there? Would it change because you pointed here? Would it change if you pointed there? It's here and it's always going to be here. So what this means, this exercise teaches us a very beautiful lesson. We may have our opinions, relative opinion of what I think is right, but actually there's only one right. There's only one absolute reality. If this is north, this is going to be north, come what may. If gravity, is your phone? Okay. If gravity goes this way, I held it, yeah? I try again. If gravity goes this way, and I say gravity works this way, that's my opinion, relative opinion. But the absolute reality is gravity goes this way. This is north. Similarly, in life, you may have your right and your wrong, your correct and your incorrect, my opinion, your opinion. But in reality, there's only one right and one wrong, the opinion of Krishna. The absolute opinion, the absolute north, the absolute gravity. Till the time we don't know what that absolute opinion is, our mind is going to be uncontrolled. So Bhagavad Gita, reading of the Shastra, gives us that compass in life. How to redirect ourselves from my opinion, my viewpoint, this is my thinking, to what is reality. This is the first thing which happens in a temple. Second, the second thing that happens in a temple, we have beautiful deities. When you come in front of the deity, do we see the deities? Yes or no? Wrong. They see us. Who's the seer and who's the seen? Are we the seer and is Krishna seen? Or is Krishna the seer and are we seen? Krishna is the seer. Krishna is the seer. Prabhupada would say, don't try to see God. Act in such a way that he becomes eager to see you. What does that mean? He is the seer. And what is the power of Krishna's glance? How did Krishna create the universe? Sa aikshata, Taittiriya Upanishad. He glances over material nature and he creates. In the Krishna book, in the Kaliya pastime, how did Krishna remove the poison from the body of his friends? By glancing. He glanced on his friends and they were all revived. So Krishna's glance can create and Krishna's glance can destroy poison. Create good fortune, destroy poison. Even in our material sense, material understanding, how does a mother bird hatch her eggs? By contact. By physical contact. How do the mother fish, nourish her babies? By glance. Mother fish nourishes her babies by glance. When a fish in this world can nourish her babies by glance, what can be said about the power of Krishna's glance? Can't he nourish us? Can't he create our good fortune and destroy the anarthas in our heart? Oh, definitely he can. But we think, I am coming to the temple to see Krishna. Let me see what work the pujari has done today. Yes, Krishna, 70% okay, you can be better. You look better in a green outfit, but no problem, okay. Pujari, good job. We come to see Krishna, but it's actually Krishna who sees us. Just like when you say, did you see the doctor? What does that mean? Did you go and see the doctor to treat him? No. We go and see the doctor, meaning, did you go and see the doctor? What does that mean? Did you go and let him see you? Similarly, did you see Krishna? Did we let Krishna see us? In the West Coast, in one of our temples, one devotee was giving a very beautiful story. He was a drug dealer before. A good start to the story. So he was escaping the cops. He was running from one street to another. And to his rescue, on the street, was a street Harinam Sankirtan party. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Many people with banners and boards. And so he thought, wow, let me just go and hide in this party. The cops cannot catch me. So he just sneaked into this party. And the cops who were searching for him suddenly thought, where did he disappear? Where did he go? Couldn't find him. Now he was in a predicament. He had got inside the kirtan party, but he couldn't escape. Because every time he would try to leave, the devotees would say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, dance, don't leave. And if he left, the cops would catch him. So out of fear, he followed the Sankirtan party up to the temple. The cops were near the temple outside. Now he thought, if I leave the temple, the cops will catch me. So he went and told the temple president, I want to move into the temple. So the temple president went to the lead kirtan singer and said, wow, what power in your chanting. Somebody from the street comes to the temple and says, I want to move in. Amazing. I think every time you should lead kirtan. And that was the first time he led kirtan. He was thinking, my goodness, I didn't know I had so much Shakti. So now, this person who had moved into the temple thought, well, it's going to be easy life. He didn't know what's awaited. He was woken up at 3:30 in the morning. And they were all fighting for one bathroom to get a cold water shower. He gets into the shower, freezing cold, comes out. And the devotee said, where's your dhoti? He said, what do you mean dhoti? They wrap around a dhoti almost like a sari. And he comes down for Mangalarti. Now he doesn't know what Mangalarti is. He stands in front of the deities. And he thought there's going to be 5 minutes, then they'll let me go back to bed. He didn't know this is going to go on for 30 minutes. And then they started, now end of Mangalarti. He thought, now I can go back to bed. Namaste Narasingha. Oh, okay. Then after that, now I can go. And then Tulsi Puja. Now I can go. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha. Now I can go. Then he thought everybody's picking up beads. He thought, it's just going to be 5 minutes. Enough. I've had a long day already. So 5 minutes and then I'm going to leave. But then everybody's walking. 2 hours with their hand in a bag. He had no idea what's happening. So next day he came and I asked one of the devotees, what is happening? The devotee said, we are chanting japa with the beads. He said, this is too much. I can't do this. So he put his hand into the bag without the beads. He tied the bag
without the beads, and he would walk for 2 hours, just walking with an empty bag. And sometimes like this and sometimes like this. So he initially thought 36 rounds you have to go clockwise and 36 rounds anti-clockwise, and then you're done with an empty bag. After that he thought, oh, now I can go and sleep. Oh, Govindam Adi Purusham. He said, this is not ending. After all of that, he thought, oh, now I can definitely go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He said, this is impossible. I can't do that. And after that, prasadam. Then he said, oh, now definitely I can go to sleep. And the temple president said, oh, you go out for 12 hours of book distribution. He has 12 hours this week, because they say, I work 20 hours a week, 50 hours a week, so 12 hours of book distribution. He said, this week? He said, no, today. So he went out. He became so tired, came home, came to the temple, and this continued for a long time. And after about 3 months, he went to the temple president and he said, I have to make a very honest confession. I am not the person you think I am. The temple president said, wonderful, this is anyway our philosophy. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. The person said, no. He said, no. He said, I am actually a drug dealer. The temple president said, what are you doing here? He said, I wanted to escape the cops and surrender to Krishna. The temple president said, forget about surrendering to Krishna. First you surrender to the cops. Go and surrender. Then we'll see. So they went and surrendered to the cops. And then the judge took this case. He said, so what do you do? He said, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. What next? I fight with others to get into the bathroom. Next, for a cold water shower. Next, I dance the Swami step for about 1.5 hours. Next, I put a bag without beads and walk 36 rounds clockwise and 36 rounds anti-clockwise. And after that, oh, I greet the deities. After that, Om Namo Bhagavate. After that, I have prasadam. Then I walk on the street with books. The judge said, let him go. Let him go. The cop said, we caught him after such a long time. Why do you say he should go? He said, his life is miserable than even the prisoners in the prison house. Let him go. He's anyway suffering. Let him go. He's having all day. Let him go. Even our prisoners don't suffer so much. Let him go. Finally, this person, when he became a devotee, when he was giving class, he said, I came in to escape the cops. But by Prabhupada's mercy, I got the path by which I can escape Maya forever. He said, what changed my heart? Simply the fact that I would go and stand in front of the deities. Their glance churned out all the negativity out of my mind. And all the pure transcendental qualities started rising. All of this just by standing in front of the deities. So this is a fact. When we come to the temple, apart from one, reading Shastras to give direction in life, second, we have to stand and pray. Chant the prayers of Queen Kunti. Chant the prayers of Bhishma Dev. Chant the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Chant the prayers of Dhruva Maharaj. Yontah pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shaktidhara swadhamna anyamscha hasta charana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Such power potency is there in these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we come in front of the deities and pray the prayers from the Srimad Bhagavatam, they glance on us and the mind becomes purified because their glance can remove the poison of even Kaliya. So what to speak of the contamination in our mind. So this is the second principle for going from uncontrolled mind to controlled mind. First is reading the Shastras, which sharpen the intellect. Second, standing in front of the deities and praying regularly, not so that we glance on them. We glance on them so that they glance on us. And the third point to purify the mind is called mana. The most powerful process is called mantra, japa and kirtan. By chanting the names of Krishna, all the impurities leave the mind. Everything leaves. Please say, Ra. Ra. Lord Shiva says, when you chant the name of Sri Ram, when you say Ra, all the contamination leave our mouth. And so that they don't re-enter, you close it with a Ram. So this name has a lot of power. Vibhishan, he had the name of Sri Ram written everywhere. He had the name of Sri Ram written on the pillars. He had the name of Sri Ram written on the walls. He had the name of Sri Ram written on the ceilings, everywhere. So one day, Ravana came into his room and said, "You have written the name of my enemy." Now Vibhishan is a very smart devotee. He said, "Oh, this is not your enemy. This is Rama." Ra means Ravana and Ma means Mandodari. I'm actually worshipping you with your wife. Ravana, Mandodari, Ravana, Mandodari, Ravana, Mandodari, Ravana, Mandodari, Rama, 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 Rama. Ravana became so impressed. He said, "This is wonderful. I order as the king of Lanka, every house, every ceiling, every pillar, and every wall of every house should have the name of Sri Ram." This is the power of the holy name. Please chant. Varjanam bhava bijanam arjanam sukha sampadam tarjanam yamadutanam rama rameti garjanam. Very poetic verse. Varjanam, arjanam, tarjanam, garjanam. This is called yamaka, which means a poetic Sanskrit meter of repetition. Onomatopoeia. You have the similar sound coming together. So, Varjanam bhava bijanam. What happens? The seeds of suffering get roasted. What happens when a seed is roasted? No more fructification, yes? If a seed is roasted, can you have fruits? Can we have flowers? Nothing. So, Varjanam bhava bijanam. The seed of repeated birth and death gets roasted. What does that mean? No more birth and death. Plus, arjanam sukha sampadam. The person collects a lot of happiness. Sandrananda Visheshatma Sri Krishna Akarshini. The 6 symptoms of pure bhakti. Person becomes very happy. So no more repeated birth and death and supreme transcendental happiness. Plus, after death, tarjanam yamadutanam. If yamadutas are coming, what happens? They see you and they turn 180 degrees and start walking away. Tarjanam means to shoo away. So varjanam bhava bijanam. The seeds of suffering get roasted, which means no more suffering. Arjanam sukha sampadam, which means collection of more and more happiness. And tarjanam yamadutanam. And yamadutas get shooed away. For whom? Rama, Rama iti garjanam. Anyone who thunders and calls out to the name of Sri Ram, they get these 3 benefits. So in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we chant the Mahamantra, and every Mahamantra, how many Rams do we have? 4 times we chant the name of Sri Ram. What is the other name we chant in the Mahamantra? Krishna and Hare. Now the word Hari is also very significant. Please say Ha. Ri. Wonderful. The Shastras say the benefit of studying Yajurveda, the benefit of studying Samaveda, the benefit of studying Atharva Veda, the benefit of studying Rig Veda is all obtained to a person who once chants Hari. How many times do we say Hare in the Mahamantra? 8 times. So every time we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you get the benefit of studying all 4 Vedas 8 times. And the name of Sri Ram 4 times. What's the third word? Krishna. Please repeat. Gokoti danam grahane khagasya prayaga gangodaka kalpavasam yajnayutam meru suvarna danam govinda kirtair nasamam shatam shaihi. What does this mean? Prabhupada quotes this in the purport to the 22nd chapter of Madhya Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's a fantastic purport. Prabhupada quotes this purport and he says, Go koti danam grahane khagasya. Who can donate 1 million cows during a solar eclipse? Anyone here? First of all, who can find 1 million cows? They're all in the slaughterhouse. How many of us can donate 1 million cows during a solar eclipse? Nobody. Second, you have 2 more options to go. Second, Prayaga Ganga Udaka Kalpavasam. How many of us can live on the banks of Ganga? Please raise your hand. How many of us can live on the banks of Ganga? Now that's possible. Come on. Okay. Please raise your hand. Lifetime of Brahma. For the lifetime of Brahma. Okay. That's out of question. Now third. Yajnayutam meru suvarna danam. How many of us can perform 10,000 yajnas and give each and every brahmana a dakshina, a donation of a mountain, Meru mountain made of gold? Pyari Mohan Prabhu, please count the number of hands. Those who can donate, we can as well have them put it into the hundi for the temple. No one. So how many of us can donate 1 million cows during solar eclipse? No one. How many of us can live on the banks of Ganga for the lifetime of Brahma? No one. How many of us can perform 10,000 yajnas and donate mountain, Meru mountain of gold to each of the brahmanas? No one. But the good news is put all 3 of them together and they don't equal even 1/100th. Even 1/100th the benefit of chanting Krishna once. And how many times do we say Krishna in the Mahamantra? So you have 8 Haris, which means 8 times you're reading the 4 Vedas. You have 4 Ramas, which means Arjanam, Varjanam, Tarjanam, and 4 Krishna Nam, which means Gokoti Dhanam, Prayaga Gangodaka Kalpavasam, Yajnayutam Meru Suvarna Dhanam. That is how powerful the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is. So by chanting Harinam every day, the mind gets completely pure. And as described in this verse, by coming to the temple, having the Lord glance on us, studying the Shastra and chanting Harinam, the mind becomes our best friend because the mind becomes controlled. This is what a temple can give us. When we lose the spirit, when we come in, it's no longer spiritual. The spirit is gone and it becomes ritual. Spiritual. So the spirit is gone, it remains a ritual. So we're all talking about having so many hospitals. But this temple is actually the hospital to cure the contaminated mind so that we don't enter another mother's womb again. This is what Srila Prabhupada gave. He went around and made hospitals, not for the body, but the hospitals where the mind can be completely cleansed so that no more repeated birth and death. When he went to London, and the reporter asked him in the famous story, Swamiji, why have you come to London? Srila Prabhupada said, you Britishers took everything away from us. In fact, you stole. When you go to London, you have an exact idea of what is stolen from where. Date, place, item. Not taken, stolen. So Prabhupada said, you stole everything away from us, including the Kohinoor diamond, but you forgot to stole one diamond. Bhagavad Gita. I came to give you that. So this is the contribution of Srila Prabhupada. Giving the world everything. When Srila Prabhupada went to Shantipur and he was crying, taking the blessings of Advaita Acharya, the Pujari said, Swami Maharaj, I heard you're going to America. Is that true? Prabhupada said, no, this is not true. Srimad Bhagavatam is going to America, and I am going with Srimad Bhagavatam as a servant. In this mood, Srila Prabhupada gave. He came here to make hospitals, unlimited hospitals, and now ISKCON has more than 700 hospitals to cure this contaminated, uncontrolled mind through the process of Shastra, through the process of deities, and through the process of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it's about 4 minutes past 5, so I'll stop here. If there are any questions, comments, corrections, suggestions, improvements, Superior, all the senior Vaishnavas, please feel free to correct me so that I don't repeat the same mistake again. If I said the wrong philosophy, or if I said the right philosophy in the wrong manner, please feel free to correct me. Is there some water? No, there is. Okay. Yes, please.
I think it was very, very lovely to hear your perspectives you bring. I just wanted to understand the difference between when you say mandir at home versus an actual mandir outside. What are the pros and I think the pros and cons to both, I assume. Just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
The question is, what is the difference between the temple at home and the temple here? Naham vasami vaikunte yoginam hridayeshu va yatra gayanti madbhakta tatra tishtami narada. The Supreme Lord tells Narada Muni that I manifest in the place where my holy names are chanted. So we may have deities at home, but how much time are we spending chanting in front of them? We are busy all day running here and there. So deities are just standing. We are not even properly chanting. We are not invoking them properly. So invariably, if we don't take proper care of them, they are not deities, but they are simply idols. But here, the standard is first class. In the public setting of ISKCON, you find that they have nice offerings so many times a day. The deity is open, the temple is open at the right time. Cleanliness, punctuality, and proper mood. So Krishna manifests there in full potency. And in the house, even if we take proper care and Krishna manifests, how many devotees can fit in a house setting? But in a temple, which is really big, so many devotees can come and joyfully, blissfully chant and dance. So if we stay very far away from the main temple, we can have a small temple at home and worship. But if we stay very close to the temple, we should make it a point that this is the center of our worship. All those who live very close by to the main ISKCON center, instead of having individual, our own temples in our house, that should be given up. And Prabhupada would always encourage, there's one letter where Prabhupada said that there is no need of personal deities. The focus is the main temple. So that all devotees have only one mission. I was almost going to say Radha Gopi Vallabha. But, go Nitai. I forgot I'm here. But just one goal. Everyone has one goal. That deity. So it's united. In the individual house, your deities, oh, I have God Nitai, oh, I have Sitaram, oh, I have Jagannath, oh, I have Radha Krishna. So everybody is like kind of diversified. I mean, it's good if you're staying about 100 miles away. You can have your own small place. But the closer we are to the temple, everybody comes and the Shakti improves in congregational chanting. Yes, the Sangha Kirtan, right, the power of Sankirtan. It gets multiplied. In Harinam Chintamani, this point is described of manasik chanting, mental chanting, vachika, that is japa, and loud chanting. Upamshu and vachika. Manasik, upamshu and vachika. Mental chanting, verbal chanting, and loud chanting. And loud chanting in the congregation of devotees is 100 times more powerful. So in house setting, we may chant individually, 4 members together, but in a temple setup, you have 50, 60 people chanting and dancing, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tishtami. So the closer we are to the temple, this is our main focus. Every city, the whole city comes together with that one focus. That is unity. Universal brotherhood with universal fatherhood. We have those deities as our supreme connection. And we all unite as the congregation members. Yes, please.
What year did you move into this temple?
Who?
Everyone that won the old temple.
We just moved into, we just came here. So we moved here. We used to go to the other temple.
I can answer that. We're not actually fully moved here yet. We still have the other deities at the other temples, which we worship every day. We do come here every day, make offerings to Sri Gaura. But we started here in August. We started coming here. So we're doing all our programs here, and we're doing construction simultaneously. So when the construction is all finished, the deities that are in East Hartford will move to Glastonbury. They'll be on the altar, and we'll only be here every single day doing all the programs. So it's just we're in a
Transition.
I had something else I wanted to add. I like what you said, of course. One thing I just wanted to add about the temple, why we come to the temple. As you were saying, what Prabhupada said, the same thing Bhaktisiddhanta had said. Bhaktisiddhanta, any devotees who lived outside the temple got a picture of the temple deities, and that's who they worship. No one was allowed to have deities with Bhaktisiddhanta. The only people who can have deities who got initiated by Bhaktisiddhanta are those who were worshiping the deities prior to initiation. They can continue. Otherwise, no one. The temple was the focal point. And another thing I'd like to say is, at home, you could read the scripture, but you're not going to get explanations like you get here when you get good speakers who know the philosophy and can explain it in such a nice way that you get so much more than you can if you just if you read this verse and at home with the purport, you wouldn't get the same thing. So it's another really good reason is association. Prabhupada says, I mean, it's not Prabhupada's quoting from someone, birds of a feather flock together. If you associate with devotees, you become a devotee. He said if you associate with drunkards, you become a drunkard. So you don't want to just isolate yourself, you'll be weak. So you come and you get surcharged with the association of devotees, all single-mindedly want to become Krishna conscious, God conscious, cleanse our heart, cleanse our mind. So it's important to come to the temple to do that. So Prabhupada also said these temples, this material world is like a desert, and this is an oasis in the desert. The temple is Oh, I'm done now. But this is an oasis in the desert, so we have to come to this oasis and get some relief, get some water. So it is important. I liked your class very much.
Thank you.
I did have one thing that I think you said, but it wasn't so clear because you first said it one way, that we come, we don't see the deities, they see us. And then you later on mentioned that we also see the deities, but I don't know if everyone got that because you kind of emphasized the first part, which is very important. But I wanted to also mention that we also, Prabhupada says, when you see the deities, if you see wood or marble or metal, they'll remain wood, marble, or metal. But if you see them as Krishna or Lord Chaitanya, then they will reveal themselves to you. So we should see the deities also, but also we should be praying for them to see us and for them to cleanse our contaminated minds.
Can I quickly add a story? I just remembered.
Yes, you can.
There's one quick Prabhupada pastime which I remembered with respect to deities. And it's, I mean, in my personal study, I see that the pastimes of Prabhupada relate us so much to Shastra. Because we can talk about Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj, but we never saw them. Or you don't have the, you always say that, well, they existed thousands and thousands of years ago. But when you hear about real life personalities like Prabhupada, who was just like 50 years ago, it makes Shastra come to life. So one Prabhupada disciple was making this point that Prabhupada entered a temple, I don't remember which temple, but the main doorway was really far away from the deities. And Prabhupada came through that door and he almost hung his head back and he looked at the deities and he said, "What is in Krishna's eyes?" He said, "What is in Krishna's eyes?" So they said, "Nothing, Krishna's doing good." "No, what's in Krishna's eyes?" So the pujari ran to the altar and he saw a portion of the chandan had fallen into Krishna's eyes. And then he cleared it off and Prabhupada said, "Now Krishna's blinking properly. Now Krishna can blink properly." Another place, I think this was Tamal Krishna Maharaj who said it, or some other, maybe Shruta Kirti Prabhu. Another place where Prabhupada went, so many people had come over because they heard that Prabhupada has come to our center. It's like such a big thing. So they were all crowding up and Prabhupada looked at the deities and he was speaking up something. So they all thought Prabhupada was chanting prayers. He was chanting some prayers. So Prabhupada's personal servant, he tried to stick his ears to see what prayers are Prabhupada chanting so that we can also chant. But he could hear Prabhupada say, "So are they feeding you well?" And there was like 15 seconds of pause. And Prabhupada said, "And how about the timings of the arati? Are they punctual?" And then another 15 seconds pause. And then, "How about the clothing? Is it always gorgeous like this or is it just today because I'm coming?" Another 15, 20 seconds pause. Then Prabhupada said, "Thank you." And then the temple president went with an update. "Srila Prabhupada, so, as far as the prasad is concerned," Prabhupada said, "I know. I already know." I said, "Prabhupada, how do you know?" He said, "Krishna told me." So nobody understood. But the servant who was sticking his ears, he later on went and said, "I could hear Prabhupada ask these things to the deities." And in a very famous letter, Prabhupada says that Krishna has appeared to speak to you. Yeah? Make yourself qualified so that you can reply. So it's not deities actually. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu from Chaitanya Charitamrita are here. Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Brajendra Nandan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went for his South India yatra, he looked at the deity and he said, "Pratima nahi, tumi sakshat Brajendra Nandan." You are not a deity, but you are Sakshat Krishna, the Lord of Vrindavan. So Navadvipa Chandra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are here dancing for us. So we are all so fortunate. Only if we come here, discuss Shastra, see them so that they glance on us and churn our heart, to kick out all the impurity from the mind and the heart and chant for their pleasure. This is possible in the hospital of the mind, this temple here, Mandira. Any final quick comments? Yes, Mataji. We'll take Mataji here and then we'll come there. Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead.
I have a question, like as you mentioned that when we look at the deities, we will be seeing,
Yes, please, Mataji.
we'll be seeing them like how they are dressed up, or like instead of we having the consciousness of they seeing us, we don't have, so we tend to do it. Those who are like doing pujari services or dressing the deities, they tend to immediately come to the conclusion that, oh, they are dressed this way, that way. So how we can stop that, and how we can have that mood that we should make sure that its Lord should see us by our mood and our service, not we try to see them.
We don't have to stop that. Because Prabhupada, yes, please. Yes, the question is, we said that we should understand that Krishna is seeing us and glancing over us. So as pujaris who are always meticulous about how the outfit is and how the ornaments are, how can we stop that mentality of judging? Right? Is that the question? We don't have to. In the sense that the deity is also we have the deities also for one purpose. Prabhupada said we should dress the deities very gorgeously so that people who are coming newcomer for the first time, they see how beautifully the deities are dressed and they get attracted. So that's also the purpose. When we look at them, we also want perfection for preaching. But in our heart, we have to understand we cannot add anything to them. They are using us in their service. Even if we don't dress them properly, they are pretty well dressed. But we have to do our job perfectly as pujaris for preaching service, so that people who come, they don't think, oh, this is shabby. Like you go to Vrindavan, no offenses, you go to many temples, but sometimes you have like rat going over the deity. Even popular big temples, you have like rats just moving over, or ants moving over the deity. But you will never find that in ISKCON. Very clean, decked up. And I find newcomers come and say, I go to so many temples, but I don't get that same feel that I get in Krishna Balaram Mandir. Because also our intention is to make sure from the public view that the deities look perfect for preaching. Yet in the heart of our hearts, we have to understand, we can add anything to them. We are going as beggars so that they glance on us and we get purified. So we have to do that dual task of personal purification and public outreach. Yes, Prabhu at the back.
First of all, thank you very much. It was a wonderful class, very relevant. I asked my son to listen for this time. The question I had was, when you were talking about Yudhishthira and Duryodhana, Shri Ram and Ravana, right? What happened to Yudhishthira and Pandava, right? Yudhishthira was, he did certain things which ended up like that. Like, say, he engaged in gambling and he gave away property. How do we rationalize that? I'm sure there are multiple reasons behind it. How do we rationalize that and make it so great and wonderful why he engaged in that?
This is actually a long class in itself. Because this is not a simple 2-minute response. Because we have to get into so much of history before. Like, I'll just give you an example. So many times people ask, why did Krishna kill Karna the way he was killed? If Krishna is teaching dharma, why is he not following it? They oftentimes don't understand. Karna has a history. He was a demon by the name Sahasra Kavacha in his last life. And this Sahasra Kavacha would all the time wait for the Brahmanas to perform yajnas. And when they were almost on the edge of finishing the yajna, he would fly over and pass urine and stool. So the Brahmanas got so furious that they cursed Karna. You always try to catch us unaware. We curse you. When you will be completely desperate, that's when you will be caught unaware. Now, to keep the words of those pure devotees and also to map the law of karma for Sahasra Kavacha, you find the pastime of Karna, whose wheel was stuck underneath, and Krishna ordered Arjuna to shoot. Now, people who see this pastime see it with the view of Karna, but they don't see it in the view that Krishna saw. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhutani cha bhavishyani mam tu vedana kaschana. In chapter 7, text 26, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I know the past, present, and future of every living entity, but they don't know me. So in that way, every small box in Shastra is very well packed up by Krishna's plan, knowing the past, present, and future. So I just gave you this instance to understand that every pastime, including Yudhishthira Maharaj, including the pastime of Sita, the famous Sita pastime in Ramayana, all of them have very good Shastric answers. But now it's beyond the time for me because it's a whole class in itself. But you can refer to other prominent books on Ramayana and Mahabharata. Purna Prajna Prabhu's book or Krishna Dharma Prabhu's book. Very beautiful references. Yes, Mataji. Oh, yes, please. Oh, it's a response.
Yudhishthir Maharaj was Yamaraj himself. He heard from Vyasdev that Yudhishthir, you will be an instrument for a battle that will uproot the evil. But Yudhishthir Maharaj interpreted that I will be responsible for a battle. So he said that I'm not going to deny any instruction from any elder, which Govind Prabhu explains in his lecture is also like gambling. When you take a vow like that, I'm not going to deny any instruction from any elder, it is like gambling, just blindly following. Second, Yudhishthir Maharaj, like he was a Kshatriya, and when a Kshatriya is challenged for a duel or a gambling match, you are not supposed to say no. So when he was invited by Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra for the gambling match, even though Vidura instructed him that this is Duryodhana's slot, don't do it, he said, I'm going to go ahead. But again, it was part of the bigger, cycle. So we cannot judge him just by that instance of him betting Draupadi in the gambling match. There's more behind this that led to it.
Hare Krishna. Yes, this will be the last question.
So, you mentioned a couple of times about purification, purifying the mind. Now, as practicing sadhaka devotees, what are the biggest anarthas that we should always aspire to purify? I know for each devotee it could be, the list of order could be different. Is there like a general sense of, like, these are the biggest demons within that needs to be addressed?
Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava Mahashana Mahatmatma. Krishna talks about Kama, lust. And why does this lust manifest? Krishna bhuli jeev se anadi bahir mukh atha eva mayatar diya samsara dukh. Krishna bhuliya jeev se bhogabancha kore nikatastha mayatare jhapatiya dhare. The living entity is in complete love with Krishna. But as soon as he turns away, the love for Krishna becomes love for himself, which is false ego or lust in this world. So that is the main root cause which gives rise to other anarthas. When that lust is satisfied, it gives rise to lobha. Material desires, they are present. And when they are fulfilled, oh, I want more. Little more, ye dil mange more. Little more, and I want more. Aniyor, 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 aniyor. Like Giriraj said, give me more, give me more. This is the heart of every, the nature of material desires. I want more and more and more and more and more. So when lust is fulfilled, it gives rise to lobha. Now when lust is checked, it gives rise to kama, krodha, anger. So the main root cause is lust. Whether it's satisfied or not satisfied, it gives rise to problems. Trividam narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanaha kama krodha tatha lobha tasmad etat trayam tyajet. Krishna says there are 3 doors to hell. Lust, anger, and greed. But greed and anger arise why? Because of lust. Lust is satisfied, leads to greed. Unsatisfied leads to anger. So that lust, because of false ego, is present in its seed form, which keeps sprouting every moment. So the root cause of everything is identification with this body or false ego. That is the root cause of all evil. You can also study as a recommended text the first few verses of the pastime of Dhruva, Canto 4. In that, the starting about 10 verses describe how the anarthas appear. It's a very beautiful analysis. It talks about who is the father, and then who is the sister, and then what are the sons, and then what are the sons of those sons, and all of them are anarthas. kama, dambha, darpa, abhimana, krodha, parushyam, etc. So that's a very recommended text. You can read through those verses, and it's a very nice flow chart as to how they manifest. But in a nutshell, the root cause is false ego because of identification with this body. Hare Krishna. From there, everything else manifests. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Shri Shinitai Gauranga ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Gyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Ananta Koti Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.